Hello, welcome to How to Do Computers. I'm Mike, and I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Today's video is the first in what I hope to be a full series on getting into home labbing and self-hosting in general. I'm aiming to help get you started thinking in the right direction so you waste as little time and money as possible. So up front, I'll often be using the term home lab fairly loosely to refer to anything from a server or group of servers to a set of networking equipment like you might use to study for a network certification or even a server instance hosted in the cloud. Whether or not you're hosting services for yourself or your friends, or you're just creating a technological playground to experiment with, to me it's all home lab. And for simplicity's sake, I'll be referring to all of this as your home lab. Of course, there are enterprise environments or even home businesses where people host their own equipment that you definitely wouldn't call a home lab, but if you're already there, you probably don't need this video. A good rule of thumb for deciding what is and what isn't a home lab is, if it's down, is it costing anyone money? So we're going to be going over what it means to start a home lab and how it may not be as difficult to get started as you might think. For instance, if you were to visit some forums or threads about home labbing or self-hosting, you'll be inundated with these images and posts of people with huge server racks packed with all sorts of enterprise hardware and expensive server equipment, and lots of jargon that might leave you feeling discouraged from entering the sphere altogether. You don't need thousands of dollars and a master's degree in computer science to start building something that can perform functions for you in your daily life. You don't need a rack full of equipment just to play around with technology. Perhaps you just want to dip a toe in. Maybe you'd just like to host a video game server for you and your friends to share. Or maybe you want to have a media server to stream your own movie collection. Or perhaps you're seeking to launch a career in IT and you want some hands-on experience to make sure it's something that you want to pursue and to have something that'll set you apart in a job interview. Maybe you want to create a networking home lab to study for certifications like the CCNA. Whatever your reason, you have to start from somewhere, as did everyone who has a $10,000 home data center in their basement. My aim here is to start from absolutely square one and work our way up. All the hardware in the world won't do you any good if you don't know what to do with it. In fact, I've fallen into this trap myself in the past, dropping hundreds of dollars on equipment that I had no purpose for except to stare at and wonder, what's next? So the first thing you want to consider is your use case. It greatly benefits you to have a goal before you even start looking for hardware to spin up a home lab on. Try to have a clear idea about what you want your hardware to do for you, whether it's running a service, gaining educational experience, or even, heaven forbid, having a little fun. I'll be doing as many videos as I can in the future to cover as many of these use cases as possible. I'll add here, if you want to see certain topics covered, let me know and I'll use that as incentive to explore those areas in new videos. For now, I'll be operating under the assumption that you don't want to drop a lot of money right away just to get started, and by no means is it necessary to do so. You may also have resources lying around that you wouldn't normally consider to be server material. Do you have an old laptop lying around collecting dust? Or maybe you've built yourself a new computer, and the old one's sitting around there doing nothing. Those can make an excellent start to your home lab. Every server is a computer, and just about every computer can become a server. Perhaps take a look around your home and see what you can come up with, or even ask your friends if they have any old tech that they don't mind getting rid of. Even if you can't find any hardware to get started with as a dedicated server, you might be able to run some virtualization platforms on the PC you have right now. You can install free Type 2 hypervisors like Hyper-V, VirtualBox, or VMware Player. You can find network simulators like Packet Tracer, which Cisco provides for free. Even if none of these options sound right for you, there are numerous ways of acquiring dedicated hardware for fairly cheap. You can try checking places like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, OfferUp, or my personal favorite, eBay. In my next few videos, I'd like to come up with some real-world examples of hardware you might use to start your home lab journey, so stay tuned. Anyways, that's all for now. As always, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.